even the idea of me that I've made up in thoughts needs to survive. Otherwise, it's the same as the body dying. We don't really separate all of that, but that's kind of the blend that has happened in humanity. It's all part of this life, this energy creating tension in itself. It's rediscovering itself. It's remembering itself, if you like. It's not an it, but to put it into a story, it's kind of remembering itself. This intelligent energy blossoms into humanity, has all these aspects of experience that it has, sees itself, experiences what it's like to be itself, experiences all its possibilities, and in the process creates the idea of separation, which is just part of these experiences that it's created in the mental process, the intelligent thought that happens through the biology of the human being, the human brain. It has all of these experiences, and then it also can have the experience of seeing itself as doing that. And that is awakening. Realization that what's actually expressing and interacting here is not the human being. The human being is part of the expression, and the human being feels like it has experiences as part of that expression as human being, but those experiences are actually the whole, just having a perspective point of separation through a human being. And that is awakening, and that can be conceptual. So we can have meetings, especially online these days. There's a lot of communication between different people seeking for relief from the tension that's created in this, the suffering that is created by being a separate self. It initiates a tension for life to harmonize that somehow. And in that process, there is seeking. There is a human being seeking for answers, seeking for truth, knowing deep down, yearning for its true nature. The conceptual side of exploring awakening can be a very, very strong loop of intellectual massaging, always based in the limited mind that is still trying to work itself out. And yet it's kind of like knowing that the separate self is the energy of a rainbow, but then still running after a rainbow and trying to find its source. Why is that happening? Where is it? But the rainbow isn't real because you've heard it's not real. Conceptually the rainbow's not real, but you need to make sure, you need to touch it, you need to pull apart, and you need to look at the rainbow from the inside out. It's created this identity in thought in the first place, and then it tries to use thought to not find itself. It tries to use this thinking process to prove that it isn't there. It's like, it's just not there. It just never was. You already aren't. That's the funniest thing about it. And when I say you already aren't, the thinking ego mind, I'll hate this idea. So it's not that anything's being taken away. It never was, but everything is. That's what everything is already like this. It's already like this. You're already expressing as life in all its complexity. It's not going to change apart from the fact you may not identify with that, and it will flow openly and more freely and more creatively. And whatever capacities or creative or talents that are in you as that human instance, it just opens it up to be more, to open more, to enjoy more, to interact more. And more sounds like words. You're not getting anything because you're not really there. You are an experience in this. The idea of you, the separate self, is an experience in this. And even that's not wrong, because it's all part of this expressing. So this isn't about getting rid of or fixing the idea of ego or separate self. No. Once a true awakening or opening, acceptance and all-embracing openness seems to happen, it doesn't matter if those things do that, because they're seen as just an expression, a passing movement, an energetic expression that is doing that for a while and then changing. So It's complete acceptance of all, even that which doesn't feel like an awakened happening or perspective or thought. Their experience is happening in this, and this is what or who I am. It's not a who. When we say who I am, we instinctively think a separate human being body. It's not. It's the human being body is this, but it's part of it. It's not from the human body. The human body is an expression in this intelligent awareness. That's what this is, what I am. And that, the conceptualization of that really is just trying to explain it rather than work that out. There is no need to work anything out, is what has opened. Because it already is complete. And the exploration of what a human being is just an interesting play in this. It's just this as life playing, looking at itself, which seems to be what happened in the expression of a human being. The human being expresses as a separate perspective an instance of this in biological form to play and witness and be creative, and it's just another type of flower blossoming in this forest. And even that is a summarization or potentiality coming into a particular type of itself. When it's infinite, it's infinite, as well as expressing finitely. And that's the amazing thing. So the more this is explained, the more it just opens to being a much more complete, full flow of interesting information, but no particular information is of any importance. It's all just creative flow. It's all just infinitely complex life playing in here in this expression. Nothing's wrong. There's nothing that has to be corrected. But in this, change is constantly happening. So it seems to be evolving somehow. If we call evolving change to harmonize itself, that's what it feels like, changing to harmonize itself. Doesn't mean it's going to stop vibrantly blossoming in a different way, which may cause other turbulences that, along the way. We call that suffering when it comes in the form of a mind, a separate human being, self-reflecting and causing itself suffering, harm with that identification. But even that is just this eternal energy doing what it's doing. So that's not wrong either. Maybe it forms some other tension that changes in another way. It's all just happening this way. It's all happening in ways that doesn't need to be explained or understood. It just needs to be openly accepted as this might be much broader than can be comprehended. If that's just that, it's beautiful.